Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Mm,
And today we're going to be tackling a question I think you might think you know the answer to.
okay.
How much do we really move in modern life,
Hmm.
right? So you would think in the age of like fitness trackers and marathons and stuff
Yeah.
that we'd be a pretty active bunch.
Right.
But the source that we're looking at for this deep dive is a snippet from a Spanish language text.
Okay.
And it makes this argument that we both move more and less than we used to.
Huh. Interesting.
So that got us thinking, are we Olympic athletes or are we couch potatoes?
Yeah, what's fascinating about that idea is this paradox of movement. We
Right.
have more gyms now, we have more workout programs, there's so much more awareness around fitness now than ever before.
For sure.
And yet, statistically, we're moving less overall than people back in the 1940s.
Wait a minute. Less than people, like almost a century ago.
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
Well, it comes down to the difference between intentional exercise
Okay.
and just like moving throughout the day. Back then, people didn't have the luxury of sitting at desks or driving everywhere.
Right.
Like, their jobs, their daily lives just required more physical activity.
So you're saying that like even if I squeeze in a 30-minute workout or something,
Yeah.
I might still be less active overall than somebody who, worked on a farm all day 100 years ago or whatever.
Exactly. And that difference has a huge impact on something called basal metabolic rate, or BMR.
Okay, I've heard of BMR, but to be honest with you, I'm a little fuzzy on what it actually is.
Well, think of it like this. Your body is constantly burning energy even when you're doing absolutely nothing.
Right.
Your heart's pumping, your lungs are working, your brain is firing.
Uh-huh.
All of that requires fuel.
Yeah.
So BMR is that baseline energy expenditure just to keep you alive and functioning.
So like the minimum amount of energy my body burns just to keep the lights on, so to speak?
Precisely.
Okay.
And here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Your BMR accounts for a whopping 70% of your daily energy expenditure.
Wow, 70%.
Yeah.
So even if I'm like super strict about my diet and I exercise and stuff like that, my BMR still plays a massive role in my overall health and weight.
It's a major factor. And remember that 1940s farmer we talked about.
Yeah.
Their daily activity meant that their BMR was likely much higher than yours or mine.
This is making me rethink my whole approach to movement. You know,
Yeah.
I always thought it was all about hitting the gym a few times a week, but it sounds like that's only part of the equation.
Yeah, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it means that even small increases in our overall movement throughout the day
Okay.
can have a significant impact on our BMR and consequently our health.
Okay. I'm officially intrigued. So how do we boost our BMR without having to like quit our jobs and become farmers?
That's where the magic of NEAT comes in.
Neat.
Non-Exercise Activity Thermogenesis.
That sounds kind of sneaky.
Kind of is.
Like a secret weapon for burning calories?
It kind of is NEAT. Is essentially all the movement you do outside of dedicated workouts. So like walking to the bus stop, taking the stairs, doing chores, even fidgeting at your desk, it all adds up.
So basically, all those little movements that I usually don't even think about can actually contribute to my calorie burn and boost my BMR.
Absolutely. You can think of NEAT as turning your entire life into a 24/7 workout just by being a little more mindful about how you move throughout the day.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
A 24/7 gym you can access anytime, anywhere.
Exactly.
But how much of a difference can NEAT really make?
Studies have shown that NEAT can account for about 25% of your BMR,
Wow.
but with conscious effort, you can double that.
Double it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So even if I don't have time for like a full workout, I can still make a big dent in my BMR just by being more active throughout the day.
That's the key takeaway here.
Okay.
It's not about spending hours at the gym. It's about finding ways to incorporate more movement into your everyday routine.
Okay.
And trust me, there are more ways to do that than you might realize.
Okay, so we're back and we're ready to like explore the practical side of NEAT. Right. It's all well and good to know that it exists,
Mm-hmm.
but like how do we actually turn our daily lives into that 2047 calorie burning opportunity?
This is where things get really fun.
Okay.
It's about shifting your perspective and seeing the world as your personal movement playground.
Yeah.
Our source actually gives some really vivid examples of how to do this.
Okay. I'm picturing like jungle gyms and swing sets here.
Yeah.
Give me some real world examples.
Okay.
Like how can I turn my morning commute, say, into a NEAT workout?
Okay, so let's say you usually take the bus.
Ah,
Could you maybe get off a stop or two earlier and walk the rest of the way? Or if you drive, could you park farther away from your destination
Right.
and enjoy a brisk walk?
It's so funny because I usually like circle the parking lot for like ages,
Yeah.
looking for the closest spot,
Yeah.
completely defeating the purpose.
Exactly. It's those little choices that add up. Yeah. And let's not forget the classic
Yeah.
taking the stairs instead of the elevator.
Right.
Even just a couple of flights can make a difference.
So what I'm hearing is that NEAT isn't about grand gestures.
Yeah.
It's about making smarter choices in those everyday moments.
Exactly.
Okay, what about when we're stuck at work? Any tips for sneaking in some more movement at the office?
Absolutely. If you have a standing desk, use it.
Okay.
Even better, try a walking meeting. Instead of sitting around a conference table,
Oh,
grab your colleagues and discuss ideas while strolling around the office.
that's brilliant. I bet it would make meetings way more productive too.
Right. And don't underestimate the power of fidgeting.
Mm.
Studies have shown that people who fidget regularly can burn up to 350 extra calories per day.
Wait, so those of us who can't seem to sit still
Yeah.
actually have a NEAT advantage?
You could say that.
Interesting.
It's about embracing those natural tendencies
Yeah.
and using them to your metabolic benefit.
I've always been told to stop fidgeting, but now I can tell people it's for my health.
Exactly. Embrace the fidget.
Okay.
And here's another neat hack that might surprise you.
Right.
Chores.
Chores. You're telling me that vacuuming can count as exercise?
Think about it. You're moving, you're bending, you're lifting, you're scrubbing.
Okay.
All of those actions engage your muscles and burn calories.
You've officially given me a whole new perspective on housework.
To make it even more fun, crank up some music
Oh!
and turn it into a dance party while you clean.
Love that. It's like tricking yourself into being more active.
Mm.
What other sneaky, neat tricks do you have up your sleeve?
Well, the possibilities are really endless. If you're on the phone, pace around while you talk.
Hmm.
During TV commercial breaks, do some stretches or squats.
Okay.
Walk around your house during work breaks.
Okay, so it's like you're saying that our 24/7 gym is always open.
Yeah.
We just have to remember to use it.
That's the key takeaway.
Mhm.
Eat isn't about finding extra time to move. It's about being more mindful and intentional in the time that you already have.
This is all making me realize that NEAT is about way more than just burning calories.
Right.
It's like a whole new way of thinking about movement and how we interact with our environment.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating an awareness of your body and how you move throughout the day.
And if I may add, it's also incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
Knowing that we have so much control over our metabolic health
Right.
just by making small changes to our daily habits.
Exactly. You're not at the mercy of some rigid workout schedule.
Right.
You have the power to create a more active, healthier life, one step at a time.
This has been so insightful. I'm already feeling like more energized and motivated to move.
Good.
But before we wrap up, there's one more thing I have to ask about. Remember that elevator hack we mentioned earlier?
Oh, yes. That one usually raises some eyebrows.
I'm still a little bit puzzled. Why would we intentionally choose to not take the stairs?
Yeah.
Isn't that going against everything we've learned about NEAT?
It's not about being lazy. It's about being strategic. Remember how we talked about the importance of balance?
Right. Finding that rhythm of movement and recovery throughout the day.
Sometimes taking the elevator, even if you could take the stairs,
Yeah.
can be a way to give your body a mini break, allowing your muscles to recover and prepare for more neat opportunities later.
And so it's not about being on all the time.
Yeah,
It's about listening to our bodies
Yeah.
and giving them the rest that they need.
precisely. It's about working smarter, not harder, when it comes to NEAT.
This is such a nuanced perspective on movement.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see how NEAT isn't just about being constantly active. It's about finding a sustainable approach that works for our individual needs and lifestyle.
Exactly. It's about making movement a natural and enjoyable part of your life rather than a chore. And
Mhm.
that's when the real magic happens.
This has been eye-opening. I feel like we've uncovered a whole new world of movement possibilities. Okay, so welcome back to the deep dive.
Mhm.
We've been talking about like all the amazing ways that moving more throughout the day through NEAT can benefit our physical health. But what about the mental side of things? I feel like there's got to be a connection there too.
Oh, there absolutely is. And it's a connection that's often overlooked.
Right.
You know? We tend to think of movement as purely physical, but it has a profound impact on our mental and emotional well-being as well.
Yeah, no, I always feel so much better after a walk or even just a good stretch. You know, it's like a mental reset button.
Yeah, that makes sense when you consider the science behind it. Movement triggers the release of endorphins,
Ah.
those feel-good chemicals that boost our mood and reduce stress.
So it's not just a placebo effect.
Yeah,
There's like actual chemistry at work.
exactly.
Okay. But do we need like intense workouts to get those endorphins flowing? Or can gentle movement do the trick too?
Good news. Even low-intensity activities like walking, gardening,
Yeah.
or even just dancing around your kitchen
Okay.
can have a positive impact on your mood.
Hmm.
It's all about getting your body moving and letting those endorphins do their thing.
I love that.
Yeah,
It takes the pressure off of having to be like a gym rat to reap the mental benefits of movement.
exactly. And it's not just about feeling happier in the moment. Studies have shown that regular physical activity can actually help manage symptoms of anxiety and depression as well.
Wow. So NEAT isn't just a mood booster. It can actually be a powerful tool for mental health.
That's right. And there's more.
Oh,
Movement has also been linked to improved cognitive function.
you mean like getting my body moving can actually make my brain sharper?
Precisely. Physical activity increases blood flow to the brain,
Okay.
delivering oxygen and nutrients that are essential for optimal brain function. It also stimulates the growth of new brain cells and strengthens connections between existing ones.
Wow.
Think of it as a workout for your brain as well as your body.
So just by incorporating more movement into my day, I'm potentially boosting my memory, my focus, even my creativity.
You got it. And the benefits extend beyond the immediate effects, too.
Okay.
Studies have shown that a lifetime of regular physical activity can protect against cognitive decline as we age
Wow.
and reduce the risk of developing neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's.
This is mind-blowing. It makes you realize that NEAT is about so much more than just fitting into your genes or whatever. It's about investing in our long-term health and well-being, both physically and mentally.
It really puts that like healthy mind saying into a whole new perspective,
Right.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
And here's a beautiful thing. Movement doesn't have to be a chore.
Okay.
It can be a source of joy, a way to connect with ourselves and the world around us.
That's what I love about this whole idea of turning our lives into a 247 gym. It's about finding ways to make movement a natural and enjoyable part of our day, not something we dread or have to force ourselves to do.
Exactly. It's about finding activities that bring you pleasure,
Yeah,
whether it's dancing, hiking, swimming, gardening, or simply taking a leisurely stroll in the park.
I think that's a perfect note to end on.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about striving for perfection or pushing ourselves beyond our limits. It's about finding that sweet spot where movement becomes a celebration of our bodies and a source of joy in our lives.
Beautifully put. Embrace the power of movement in all its forms and watch as it transforms your life for the better.
I think this deep dive has been a real eye-opener. I hope our listeners are feeling as inspired as I am to move more, not just for our physical health, but for our mental and emotional well-being too. And remember, every step counts. So get out there, explore your 24/7 gym, and discover the incredible potential that lies within you. Until next time, keep moving and keep exploring.